I gave Child Support is Fraud his flowers. I'm like, bro, I love what you're doing for the community. You helping, you doing this, you doing that. Fuck it, you charging more than fucking rent. Shit, fuck it. What? Thank you. But I'm still in jail for the shit. So you would think he'd help me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what's going on?
My man said you brought the dream and paid for the ticket.
What's the word, man? It's 773 DBTV here for the hungry and the needy, but not the greedy. You know the vibes, man. Today I got a special one. Right now I got my boy Greg Doss in the building, man. What's up, Greg Doss?
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you having me on.
Hell yeah, man. You know, I've been following your content for some time, but I never really dug too deep into it until now, and I kind of want the people who aren't familiar with who you are to know your story. So, can we get a little background check on you?
Well, I'm 57 years old. I was in the military. I worked in the school system for a little while. I was also a union steward with the Teamsters, so that's a little bit of my background. For anybody who actually watches any of my videos and wonders where my ability to deal with an adversarial relationship comes from. And then, like most people, I found myself involved with the criminal justice system and child support. And what happened was, not that I had to become incarcerated or what have you, but first it was child support, the standard stuff. I didn't know anything. So I, for the most part, was in the full compliance mode. And one day I got angry enough to say, you know what? F this. I'm going to figure this out. And I was being badgered by one of the child support workers or whatever they are inside the inside the courthouse, inside the administrative meeting rooms. And one day I said to the lady, you know, B, I'm finna figure this out. She asked me, who am I talking to? I'm talking to you. And so I just started on the path of doing this. And I'll be candid and say, I started with the child support and was working with it and doing my own thing. And I eventually got success because I ran into a guy at a poetry event. And for Black on Black Rhyme, shout out to Black on Black Rhyme Tampa at the time. And he made the statement, you don't have to pay taxes and I can show you. Well, when he said I can show you, the first thing I thought about is, well, I don't have tax issues, but I have another issue. And when he started talking about some of the language that I came to learn is not going to benefit me in court, it got me started on the path nonetheless. And from there, about 2 years after hearing him make that statement and me attacking the child support process from the legal aspect, meaning spending hours upon hours at the time in the law library before I got, the sophisticated stuff that I have now. And from there, I started going into the courtrooms, into the courtroom and challenging the child support as it was. And as and anybody who wants to see, if they get access to the Dropbox, you can see my dockets and everything that show how my cases were dismissed. And actually, because of my child support experience, when I was having issues with driving without license, and I have like 12 or 13, 14 of them, and I don't recommend anybody do that. But I have quite a few of those, and I end up winning those cases because I knew how to focus on what the actual issue was. And then unfortunately, I was charged with perjury in an official proceeding because I'd acquired over $1 million worth of properties through a HOA foreclosure sale. Somebody I know bought the properties through a HOA. He bid on the properties, paid the money, found out about what was going on. And what happened was he came to me one day and said, Greg, I think I made a mistake. I said, what was the mistake? And he said, I bought these properties and now the banks want the properties and I don't know what to do. I'm just going to give the properties back to the bank. And when I was looking at them, I'm saying, these are legitimate transactions. The clerk sold the property. You were the high bidder. You paid cash for the properties. It's a bona fide sale. And by this time I had a little bit more insight on the law. And he's like, well, Greg, I just can't do it. I'm just going to give the properties back. And I'm like, whoa, we're not doing that. I'll help you fight it. He didn't want to fight it. So he essentially just sold me the properties through a quitclaim deed. the clerk verified the sales, and then the properties became mine. I started to fight the situation inside the court, and next thing you know, I get charged with perjury in an official proceeding because one of the sitting judges called the mayor's bodyguard to have the mayor's bodyguard charge me, which is, we know that's a little bit strange.
Yeah, that sounds strange.
Yeah. But ultimately what happened was I fought the case self-represented and ended up disqualifying 4 judges. And eventually the Florida Supreme Court sent the judge in from the district outside of this district. And I ended up having that case dismissed in my favor. And I ended up suing for malicious prosecution and some other things. This middle district court here in Florida dismissed it. I've appealed it, and I'm actually actively involved in the appellate process of the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals in Atlanta. So I'm actually one step below the United States Supreme Court, and I've done that self-represented as well.
Wow. Let's
do one thing too, real quick.
Go ahead.
I had to give my disclaimer. I'm not an attorney. I do not have a license to practice law. I do not practice law. What I've done is study the law, and I share my experiences and tell people how I got the information. So I don't give information as advice to apply to your specific case, but it's general information regarding the law and lawful principles, which, by the way, belong to the people. So please use any information obtained from me for educational edification only. And the reason that I say that is because I want nothing that I say to be construed to be legal advice. If you feel you need legal advice, I would highly encourage you to hire a licensed and hopefully competent attorney, and not one of the many bar associated attorneys that get disbarred every year or have a complaint filed on them every month and then be legally advised. And I'll just say, with that being said, if you
but even though you say that though, bro, you can do this by yourself.
Oh, I've done it all. Yeah.
No, I mean, when I say you, I mean for the people, for the people watching,
Oh, yeah.
I want you to know that an attorney is only going to walk you through the process. They're not going to, you got to be a better client. And talking to Greg, I really learned a little bit about what it is to be a good client if you are going to have an attorney, because nobody's really going to know your case more than you. And when you guys go do your Googles on who Greg Doss is, you're gonna see, he's really he's not telling you the full truth. If he was, when you go watch him in court, he is a savage, bro. He is not for none of that shit. He will put you in your place. He's gonna hold you to what the law is, because a lot of these people in these positions, they don't deal with people like Greg on the day-to-day basis. And I really commend you for that, bro. Like, I really have not met somebody who fights in court the way you do. And you do it with no lawyer.
Well, I'll say this. I tell people to keep in mind that when you see my picture on like Facebook and you see that uniform, I had to tell my son that's not a Halloween costume. And you would think that if I was willing to fight and die for the country, I'm going to go and stand up for myself. Right. And I really wish more people were more knowledgeable, because the first thing that would happen is you would hope if more people held people in positions of authority accountable, they would operate more accordingly. I haven't created any new law or done anything. I just used the law that was on the books. And that's why you hear me say, if you watch any of if you become a member and watch our classes, I didn't change any law. And I don't want to take this and anybody take it the wrong way, like that other brother did when he said, I didn't come to destroy the law, I came to fulfill it. So when I show up in court, I'm just here to make you all hold them accountable to the law. And as you get more successful, the butterflies go away. And I've been in court over 200 times by myself. So
So I like that you said that though, bro. I like that you said you're basically using the rules of the rules and the regulations against them, kind of, essentially, right?
It's not against them. I use the rules to support my argument for why I'm entitled to relief. I talk about the Iraq issue. What's my legal issue? What rule governs that particular issue? How do I apply the rule to the issue to conclude that I'm entitled to the relief that I'm seeking? And there's nuance and all and other things that are involved. And I learned a lot of this, by the way, because I did work as a paralegal and a legal assistant. So, but I had my experience before I became a paralegal or legal assistant. And I did legal research for him, and I draft organically, which came from my academic background. So, and
But
now you use the courtroom.
the reason why I like that you're talking about the rules of the court is because I have somebody who I've worked with. His name is Child Support is Fraud, and Child Support is Fraud. One of the things he says is, I just use the same rules against them. The same. He's like the same stuff they filed against me. I turned around and I used it against them. Are you familiar with who Child Support is Fraud? Are you
I,
familiar with?
I've heard of him. I'm not familiar with whatever his process is, and I don't want to say this and sound too aloof, but I don't have to pay I don't have to pay attention to what somebody else does. I kind of do my own
Yeah.
thing. I've
But
heard
you
about him.
should though, bro. You should know what's going on in the world right now. He's one of the top people um bringing down the curtain on child support. So I feel like it goes hand in hand. I think and I kind of want to tell you a little bit about my story. I'm kind of at a standstill though because even though I see he is where he's at, me personally doing what he's telling me to do got me in some places. So I want to kind of tell you a little bit about my story and just tell you
Some places. Okay, hold on. Let me get my pen out.
some places.
That's sounded almost vague, but we're gonna go with it.
We gonna keep it vague until I get to the meat and potatoes, man.
Okay, let's see what we got going on here. So,
So,
go ahead.
but while we talk about my story, I want to let you know that I did email you my files that I put in my case. I don't know if you have them, but as we talk about this, I just want you to see what I actually put in my case file. I sent it to you in the email.
Okay, great. GDNapsy.com.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, you don't have to call me sir. I work for a living, but I get it. I appreciate it. Oh, military thing.
So yeah, so a little bit about my story though.
All right.
Just like everybody else, you receive a piece of mail. Um not from a judicial system circuit court. You receive a piece of mail from I believe it's the Department of Revenue or Child Support. I don't know. I forgot exactly who sent the letter, letting you know that they are intending to come after you for child support. That's how it
Okay.
started.
Okay. So in your case, I'm trying to see where I'm looking at. I see, yeah, you sent me quite a bit. I see custody action.
Yeah, I filed probably over 100 pieces of papers, 100 different documents in my damn case file.
If you don't mind me asking, I'll try to, because I know we're public here.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the complaint for support. So I see,
Yeah,
okay, I see the
but
summons.
before we get there, let me tell you my story though, bro, and then we'll get into the
No, talk. I want to read it to catch up because otherwise I won't
yeah,
have some.
for
It gives
sure,
you
for sure.
context. Go ahead.
So I get the letter from child support, right? And instantly I was like, man, this is shady. I've always been a dope dad. I'm not gonna sit here and toot my own horn on how good of a father I am. That's not my place to say. I wait for my kids to grow up and say it. But I know that I strive to be a dad, right? And the thing is, one of the things that I just thought was so I just couldn't accept was I can't accept the fact that the state is coming after me for supporting a child that I've been supporting since day one. And I was kind of like my back against the wall. Didn't when you from the hood and growing up, we don't get taught these type of things. You know what I'm saying? We don't get taught how to conduct ourselves. When actually where we're from, we kind of grow up thinking that just child support is just a part of life, right? And so
Child support or supporting your children.
they're two different things.
Right.
They're two different things. Supporting your child and child support. And I'm glad you said that. For the people watching, I do not condone people not supporting. But child support, we'll call it Title 4D, whatever you want to fucking call it. But but yeah, moving forward, I reach out to Child Support is Fraud, Lionel TJ. And when I reached out to him, he had a lot of notoriety in that industry, and he was just explaining how child support, their process is unconstitutional.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm reading your complaint, but I'm multitasking. So let's roll back. You said originally that something about the complaint. I'm looking at it, and it came from the Circuit Court of, if you don't mind me saying, Cook County. So when you say it's not from a court, where it states at the very top, from the Circuit Court of Cook County, and I'm reading what you sent me. I see the case number. It says a complaint, which a complaint is an action, and it says comes now, and it tells you who brought the action, which is the Illinois Department of Health and Family Services, the state attorney's office, and pursuant to a specific rule and statute 305 ILCS. I'm guessing that's Illinois something IL, like it's Illinois child support. I don't know. I had to figure that part out, and it gives you the statute and code that they use to bring the action. It says I see it says okay, just basic. It's make statements. It says it make statements. Wherefore they're asking for a certain thing. It's only 2 pages. So hold on.
So look, we gonna get. Trust me. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna tell you the story. I'm gonna tell you where I ended up.
Let me do one more thing. Let me look at the summons.
My boy Greg, crazy man.
Well, no, this is actually what they sent you, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, about that sir thing, but I appreciate it. It's the same thing. It says to respondent or counter respondent, meaning which would mean, oh yeah, it says right here, you're required to file an answer.
So hold on, I'm coming back to the complaint, but
did you answer this?
Not yet. I want you. I want to say the story.
It came out in 24.
And I want to say the story, and then I want to see how it could have been handled differently. So we're gonna come back to the beginning. So,
well, was it handled at all?
Yeah. Well, listen to the story. You gotta listen to the story. So the story, it goes like this, bro. Lionel says, I hit him in the DM. He's like, I charge 500. I charge 500 for a consultation, 30 minutes. I think he gave me a deal. I can't be sure, but I know that his regular price was 500 for the 30-minute consultation. For the first 15 minutes, I'm explaining a little bit about my situation. I've been there. Woo. I only could say so much in 15 minutes. I mean, shit, how long have we been on this call right now? You know what I'm saying? So how much time we at?
I don't know, but we started at the top of the hour. We've been on here 16 minutes.
Right. So 15 minutes. That's all the time we was on right now is just the time I had to say my story. Then he comes on for 15 minutes and he tells me about his story. Right. And when he was telling me about his story, he was saying how he had a kid when he was still a kid. I don't even think he was of age yet. I think he was like 12 years old. They came after him. They found out the kid wasn't his, but he didn't get child support dismissed because the kid wasn't his. The way he markets it is he got it dismissed for extrinsic fraud. And that's like a key cornerstone in this entire thing, because he was coming at, he was using codes like, I think it's, don't quote me, but I think it's fucking 42 USC 1691 or some shit like that. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
And it's basically like all writs need to be under the seal of the court and signed by an actual Article 3 judge.
But hold on. You mentioned a federal statute because you said Title 42 is a federal statute. Child support actions are brought in state court.
So,
So
but Howlett versus Rose says that all or states cannot create laws that go against or no, that's the supremacy clause that can't go against laws that are
that's
uh
article that's
they go
article
against the
six.
state.
That's article
I
six
mean
of
the
that's
you said
article
what?
that's article 6 of the United States Constitution. But that's the supremacy article. But the people might want to read the entire Constitution, because any rights not expressly delegated in the Constitution are reserved to the states. And so long as that particular issue doesn't conflict with something that the federal Constitution protects, because it doesn't give you any rights, it protects the rights, um, the states can do. And if there's a conflict between state law and federal law, or if he's saying there's something that the federal law is already in that area and the state came in there, that's called federalism, by the way. If the state, if the federal law, if there's a federal law already in place, but that's not going to be the issue. The action was brought in state court. So unless there's a challenge to the state action being unconstitutional, then you have to go through the necessary remedy stages. It's a state action. If the action is legitimate, they've served you. That's not unconstitutional.
So what do you okay, so for the people who are on fifth grade level, what does that mean?
It means you use. Well, I don't know why he brought up article. I mean, Title
So you're
42.
telling me that Howlett versus Rose Supreme Court case law is not applicable in Illinois?
It
I'm
could be
asking.
it could be applicable in Illinois if the facts would lead to it being a federal issue, but your issue is not a federal issue. An
Is
issue is
is
brought.
child support the federal government?
No, yours is from the Illinois Department of Health and Family Services as an ex relation to the. I'm not going to say the person's name, and they
Right.
brought the action against the state. Brought the action against you it appears on behalf of this young lady, and they had a state statute that allowed them to bring the action. And it also says here that you had a certain date to sign. I mean, to give a response. And what's interesting with this is I see the date it was filed. The date it was filed is not as important as the date you were served. Because you have, depending on what the Illinois law is, it's going to tell you have X number of days to respond to the once served to respond to it. Once they file it, they have X number of days to serve you with this document. And I don't see anywhere on this right here where I see the filing date. I don't see where there's a proof of service. I see.
There should be a proof of service on there. If I didn't send that to you, I'll go ahead and get you a copy of that.
So you're not arguing that you were actually given this. You were given this.
I plead the fifth. But let me tell you like this though, bro.
Well, did you ever show up at a proceeding for this?
No.
So you've never showed up at all for this case at all?
When I was served, yes. When I was served. But the first time when I got that shit in the mail, no. And then I defaulted. And then I got served.
How'd you default?
I don't fucking know. Shit. Let me just continue my story, bro. So I go and then I tell Lionel, he tells me don't file any motions. He's like, we don't file motions. We file writs and demands, right? So I was like, okay, mind you, he didn't really have a lot of time with me because he only had 15 minutes out of the 30 minutes that I had with him to explain the shit. So I'm like, fuck it. I grabbed the paperwork. I didn't even tell you. He actually just blessed me with some paperwork to study and to use what was on there to learn on how I could put it on my in my case and apply it to my case and submit the paperwork. When I had my first hearing, though, they was not hearing that shit. They was not hearing none of that. They didn't want to talk about it. They issued out a temporary order of support for $100 the first day, and they just fucking disregarded everything I had to say.
Is there any proof of service in default? Okay, wait a minute. Oh, there is an affidavit of service. Hold on. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
No, you
reading.
good. You good. So my question was, before I keep going with the story, why didn't they address any of the filings, and why do they never address any of the filings when we try to defend ourselves and try to talk in court?
I I can't speak specifically to what your issue was without knowing all the facts. I hear your
Well,
story.
I told you that I asked Lionel, how should I file my
So
paperwork,
so you
and
responded to the
he
complaint?
said I never filed motions, I only filed writs and demands.
A writ for what? And a
I know,
demand for what?
a demand for dismissal.
So if you filed a demand, then that would probably waive some other defense if you weren't served within, I mean, by the rules, that could be improper service. And again, for those who don't know, I'll repeat, not for legal advice, but it's just a process. I see that there's like three questions here, or three statements. So you never responded. And this stuff that you sent me, did you respond with any of this stuff that I'm looking at?
Are you talking about what they filed against me?
Yeah, I see three. If
I
you
mean,
can,
I didn't respond directly to it, but I filed the demand for dismissal, why I thought it should be dismissed.
that is a
Uh,
response.
huh?
That is a response.
Right. So you got the demand for dismissal letter that I sent you? It's in my docket. I sent you one of the
I'm looking at it now.
as you look for it right now. I'll keep going. So
You filed all this stuff I'm looking at?
yeah, I mean yeah, that's
So
what I
there's
was.
no response, there's no
That's what I
respondent
was
or
told.
defendants, there's no defendant's answer to complaint.
Yeah.
You
So
filed, wait a
so
minute.
yeah.
Hold on, bro.
So no. So I called Child Support is Fraud the next day. And or after that hearing where they just completely disregarded everything I had to say. And he's like, no, that's usually what they do. You know,
All
they don't
16 of these things?
yes. They don't listen to what you're saying, you know, but that's the due process violations that they do.
Okay, so for clarity, since we're having a conversation and I don't know how much time we have, but when you say they violated due process, I would specifically, how did they violate your right to due process? They
Because
served
they're
you.
not allowing, they're not, first of all, due process violation because they're not allowing me to speak. They're disregarding what
Did
I
you
want to
show up?
say.
Did you
Huh?
show up? Did you respond to what brought you to court? Uh, is the complaint? Did you respond to the complaint
No,
specifically?
I wasn't told to respond to that at
I,
all.
I can't speak for what you weren't told. I asked you, did you respond?
I'm
Yeah.
telling you no.
Okay, so if you did not respond, then you waived a
No,
potentially.
so you're telling okay, but let's get right to the chase then. Are you telling me that this dude sent me off or what? Because I don't
I
understand
can't
what's
speak for what he did because I wasn't there, and it would be unfair for me to speak to what he did. I'm only going to go by what you're saying. And what I would do to answer the question for those watching is, you're not arguing that you weren't served. You said you were. You did not respond to the service. You, he, the time went by. The court gave you a court date. You showed up with no response, or you were probably defaulted because you didn't respond. And looking at some of the dates of these documents, why do you have federal case law on this stuff? That's not,
that's what I'm asking you, Greg.
wait,
I'm
hold on one second.
asking,
Hold on. Don't you
can
look at
I use federal law in the
why
shit?
you also have an Ohio case in here.
I can't use Ohio case law.
If you're in Ohio, um,
No, bro. I thought Howlett versus Rose says that all state or Supreme Court case law could be applicable in all states.
but okay, but this case is out of Ohio, and this is not a federal case I'm looking at. Um, the other issue is I think you're conflating issues also. I mean, you're putting them together where they don't apply. Um, and I want to make sure that I'm the because I'm looking at the stuff that you filed, and I'm like, I don't see an answer at all. I see a legal
No,
demand for immediate.
you don't gotta look for it. I'll tell you. No, I did not respond to the complaint. I
But you
only
filed all this
responded.
stuff.
I only responded to the due process violations that they are creating by implementing this support.
Well, then
But let me tell you how it goes. So the story's not over yet, Greg. The story keeps
there's
going.
more of this.
There's more. There's more, bro. So then we'll fast forward. We're having hearings. They're basically asking for my financial information. The temporary order of support. It's adding up by every month, whatever. I'm not paying it. I was told not to pay it. It implies consent. They didn't want to imply consent. I wanted to talk
They
about.
said not. They said not to follow an order. Are you there?
Yeah, bro.
So
That's
wait.
what they said.
So you had
So
an order that you had an order. You knew there was an order, and you chose to not pay the order.
because I didn't want to imply consent and the so
Consent to what?
I mean you could go on his page. You after we're done with it, go do your Googles on who is child support is fraud. But what he did was he said that it's like these people are like a circus, like everybody's wearing costumes. He's like, that's not even a real judge. He's a judge magistrate. A magistrate or a fact finder. He's not really a Article 3 judge. So when
Wait,
he's
Article 3, you mean he's not a federal judge? No, he's a state judge, right?
no, I mean he's an independent contractor for child support.
I thought you said he's a judge.
Is that the truth though? Is he an
Well,
independent contractor for child support?
I don't know if he's a judge. He's a judge. He's an officer of the state because he
So
took.
the orders that they put out, are they valid orders?
If it's signed by a judge, yeah. Whether
Even
you
if it's
want,
not, even if it's not under the seal of the court or signed by an actual judge?
you said Article 3, that's federal.
Yes or no? Is the order valid if it's not under the
Yes.
seal of the court and
I,
signed
I
by
don't
a
even know. I don't even know what the seal of the court means. I used to hear a little bit of this stuff back in the day, and I'm gonna be honest with you because I was a part of uh um and I learned because I watched a lot of people what they call crash out from saying some of this stuff, and
You hold it back, Greg. You hold it back, Greg. I see it,
a
bro.
lot
The
of
people, the
because
people
I'm
don't
actually
want to see you hold back, bro.
I'm reading your information, and it's like you had three questions. I mean, three statements that all you had to do is give an answer to the three statements. I mean, to the three
Right.
statements, and you could have countered the three statements with your own stuff and asked for something in return. That would have been a counter answer, an answer and a counter. And it's
Right.
like they said, hey, these three. They say, hey, sentence one, sentence two, sentence three, and you filed 16 and some exhibits. 18 dot. It's like you came and said, hey man, chicken nuggets. They like
Chicken nuggets is crazy, bro.
they
You're not
said
gonna disrespect me like that. Chicken nuggets is crazy,
if
bro.
I ask you, are you do you know this person? Are you their father? Did you have sex with the mother? You didn't even answer that. You came and filed demands for all other kinds of things. It's like saying you ever had somebody who had like one of those kids and say, hey, my baby real smart. He can work the remote and he can do these things on the computer.
Right.
And you say, hey, little man, hey, that's a nice jacket you have on, bro. Hey, by the way, what's your middle name? Hey,
Oh.
chicken nuggets. Anyway,
Hashtag chicken nugget is crazy, bro.
bro,
So you're telling me that these people are telling people to go in the courtroom and say chicken nugget?
I don't know. I hear your word. I would because he could say it's
And my
hearsay.
word is good, bro. I would never send you off. So look,
If what you're saying is true, whoever would give you that kind of information, because I know it's not advice because they're definitely not an attorney. They're misleading you.
yeah. See, I did my Googles on you, Greg, and before I decided to reach out, you got a name for these people out here. You call them the Packet Boys. What's the
That
Packet Boys?
the packet boys. And there's some the Packet Boys are a name that the guys who helped me start doing the child support basics and what have you, and they came up with the name. They said they call them the Packet Boys because they would just send people packets to file or to turn in. And
Yeah.
I just thought it was strange. So you mean a guy that you don't know is just going to give you a standard template and you're going to turn in that template with an expectation of getting some fantastical result? That doesn't make any sense.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro, because you got me fucked up. So you're telling me that these guys are selling out, they're selling out. So that's for sure. They selling out out of these packets, and they sending them to people to file in their cases, and it got nothing to do with nothing. Is that what you're saying?
If you got this kind of stuff that I'm looking at here, it
Can we
doesn't.
put a chat? You guys got a chat in here? Hold
Yeah,
on. Okay, yeah, man. Go ahead and yeah, as that we could read some of those too as we go. But go ahead. So I went in there and said chicken nugget, bro.
yeah, or worse. So the chat is up. Can you see the chat from your
I,
side?
I can't, bro. I got the phone here, the camera here, the notebook here. I'm not an octopus, bro. So you gotta have to read it for me, bro.
So they say you mute me. Ask the question as to where are you getting the information? I guess he's getting it
What
from
information? What information?
the whatever the spiel you just gave me as to the foolish. I mean, I'm just saying
This-
the things that you did that have nothing to do with. I know I'm in Florida and you're in Illinois, so there's gonna be some nuance that makes it different, but there's just a basic
yeah.
process. And from what I'm seeing here, you just said, F it, I'm not gonna do anything. But I'm gonna throw all this stuff into the court. And I'm surprised you didn't go to jail behind this kind of stuff.
Oh, I did. Hold on, it gets better, bro. So let me finish my story. 'Cause it does give it.
I'm
Why
sorry.
you laughing at me, bro? Why you laughing, bro? This
Go
is my
ahead,
real life.
go ahead, man.
All right,
Go
so
ahead.
look, so I go, and this is where shit start getting fishy. So so I go back to jail. I mean, I go back to jail. So I go, I go back to court, and fucking the judge is like fed up with my bullshit by now. Mind you, we're like a year. I think we're a year in. He's like, fuck it. We're gonna have I forgot what they call it, but it's like a contempt hearing, a proof to proof to show cause or some bullshit.
Oh, so you got an order to show cause as to why he shouldn't hold you in contempt, and you pretty much shot the middle finger to the judge, right? It's called an order
Hold on,
to
bro.
show cause, right?
Rick,
An order to show
oh.
cause,
So I
not a
pull
request.
up. I pull up to the hearing, and I say, if you lock me up right now, I say, hold on. I say, if you lock me up right now, you're locking me up on a void order, and you haven't even proved that you have jurisdiction. Bro, the judge looked at the sheriff on his right and he just gave him a head nod and they just straight locked me up. Bro, I'm in that bitch like, I object. I object. Bro, they dragged me into they got the arrest record and everything. It said the sheriffs came upstairs, just see me handcuffed in the hallway in the corner. Bro, it's so fucked up. It's like a movie. So then they take me downstairs. They lock me up in a temporary cell in a cell that they have. Like it's like before they send you to the DOC. And then fucking I'm like, fuck, bro. So this shit is they not hearing me out. I'm like, bro, this
Well,
shit
let
is
me, let me
fucked
help
up.
you. They heard you.
They
Uh,
heard me. They just didn't give a fuck. So
but hold on. You said something about the order is void and he had no jurisdiction. If he
right.
issued the order, what would make the order void? You said it, but what would make it void?
One of the case laws that these packet boys talk about is Davis versus Page. No, any support order written out without custody adjudication is void. So they didn't talk about custody. They went straight to child support. Therefore, that shit's void, bro.
Did you raise an issue of custody?
No, I raised my voice though and told they ass if they lock me up, they
So
fucking
I
lock me
got
up in
one
a
of my
void order.
guys. One of my guys said them boys are selling y'all dreams. Where is the proof, actual factual evidence of what they're saying? He says he's never heard any of them with courtroom stories, no documented proof of wins.
Who is he talking about?
Um,
Tell them
he,
tell them drop names. We need name drops because they know. They know what's going on. So look, let me as they name drop, I'm gonna tell you. So I get out, bro, and this is where shit get fishy, Greg. I get out and I call and oh no, I sent Child Support is Fraud a message. I'm like, bro, like they fucking with me, bro. Like I need some real help out here. This shit is not working. Guess what he told me?
uh, probably. I don't know. I would have asked what you did
He
specifically.
told me nothing, bro. He didn't say shit, bro. He read the message and he left me on scene, bro. I'm out on bond. And that's kind of like why I wanted, that's kind of how I got connected with you. Cause I'm like, bro, I gave Child Support is Fraud his flowers. I'm like, bro, I love what you're doing for the community. You helping, you doing this, you doing that. Fuck it. You charging more than fucking rent. Shit, fuck it. What thank you. But I'm still in jail for the shit. So you would think he'd help me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what's going on?
You said
Like
my man said you brought the dream and paid for the ticket. Um,
I did, bro.
I would say this, that based upon what I'm looking at, I want to get back to a couple of things. You just grant me a couple of moments of levity. The issue of jurisdiction, the court had jurisdiction because apparently you live in Illinois and so does the mother, correct?
Is this facts?
Okay, and you showed up at some point in time, correct?
I showed up to every hearing.
And you never filed, before you showed up, you never filed like a special appearance or anything else to quash service,
I
correct?
did. I did file a special appearance.
Did you?
I said I was a living soul. I said I'm a living soul. Why you laughing, bro?
Hold on,
Why
hold
you
on.
laughing, bro? They said I'm a living soul, and I invoke my rights. I waive none. I'm here in the special appearance, appropriate persona. Um, yeah.
Special appearance challenges the court's jurisdiction. You took service. You failed to show. Did you file in your special appearance some what they would call affirmative defense that would keep the court from having, because subject matter jurisdiction they're going to have, that's just their ability to hear the case. What would have kept them from having personal jurisdiction if you actually showed up or filed any paper in there? Your first document would have had to have addressed the jurisdictional question. Otherwise, you would have made what's called a general appearance and you would have waived that defense. But I don't even understand why you said you're a good father earlier, so why are we even talking about the jurisdictional issue? Why don't you just address the matter at hand?
I'm fucking in the courtroom swinging that air, bro. I don't know. I'm trying to get something to hit, bro. I was getting told all this shit. I say the shit in there. It didn't work. They locked me up, come out, hit them back up, and I'm on red, bro. I'm on red, bro. And now I'm on the phone with you, Greg. So what's going on, man? Why he leaving me on red, though?
I can't speak for someone else. I just don't do that.
I mean, but what if he was to see this right now? Like, do you got any questions for him?
Well, the first thing is this notion that child support is fraud. Child support's not fraud. There may have been some fraud involved in getting the order or acquiring the order, but that's an issue specific kind of thing.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you said you spoke for like 15, 20 minutes, and unless the dude's like a genie or something, I don't know how a person can get enough information to assist you in
Yeah.
such a short time.
Yeah.
Now, the guys that, if you go to like the membership, will see, we did, I don't know, he's on, Rick, how many classes have we done total? 15, 20? Probably maybe more than that. We did 10 basics.
You got some people on the call?
I have people that are in my chat room.
Okay, that's pretty much like my story though, bro. And my story got kind of cut short because like child support is fraud and child support made simple too. Like they just all left me hanging. I feel like they left me out here to die, bro. So what makes you so successful and confident in what you're telling me right now? Like, do you even have any success stories yourself? Or have you helped anybody other than yourself?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, can we prove it? Are these people on the call? Like, I mean, can you show me some proof? Can we hear? I want to hear from them. I don't want to. Like, I'm no disrespect, Greg, but I got to hear it for myself, bro. And the people want to hear it for themselves, though.
I know that at least one guy here. I can try to call a couple other ones. I put the other ones into the Zoom so they may start popping in, but they
Yeah.
can't say anything, so that's all good.
Well, can we get who do you got on here right now? What's his
Rick,
name?
Rick's in
Rick.
here. Rick's
Okay,
in.
let me talk to Rick, man. Can we put Rick on so he can actually talk?
Yeah.
I like this, man. I like where it's going, bro. I feel like the streets need to hear what's going on, bro. The streets is getting sent to jail, all type of ways, bro. Yeah, we
Hey,
gotta
hey,
talk, man.
hey, what up, though?
Who's that right here?
That's Rick.
Rick, man. This Rick with the paperwork.
Fuck no, man. And you better quit dealing with them packet boys, man. They gonna leave you hanging, man. They gonna
What
leave
you
you
mean?
somewhere
What you mean
stressed
leaving me
out, bro.
hanging, bro? Who?
Hey, what you mean? I ain't gotta answer that. You done told us already. You done told the world.
They,
The nigga left you unread, didn't he? The nigga left you unread. He ain't give you no type of path forward. He didn't try to stray you to a different outcome. The nigga left you unread, and then for the nigga to say you're a dream and send you in court with some federal case laws when you're dealing with a state case matter. Come on, man. Y'all better stop following them niggas, man.
oh, okay, so Rick, did you deal with them yourself though?
Man, I can tell you this. I came across plenty cats such as yourself. I ain't never came across not one cat that I'd have dealt with that done came across dogs who ain't had a less than fortunate outcome.
Right,
And I'm one of them. And
right.
I'm one of, and I can tell you he ain't charged me no $500, $600, $700. I called him one time, he called me right back.
Right, and that's one of the things I do want to say about you, Greg. Is I don't think that it should be that easy to get a hold of you, but you are really easy to get a hold of, bro. Like you is not hiding, leaving people on red. You pick up your phone. I fuck with that, man. That's you like Greg's a real deal, bro. But Rick, let me ask you a question, Rick. What what
Man,
what what? Why you laughing at me, Rick?
because I'm
Why you
sitting here, bro.
laughing though?
I'm sitting here and I'm listening to your story, bro. And it's funny to me that I understand, I get it. It's so many of us as fathers that, we get backed into a corner and we're searching for a way out. We're looking for an outcome so that we don't have to deal with these people. And then we come across cats like the brother you call yourself dealing with who out here selling dreams to brothers such as yourself.
Yeah,
And I don't find that clear. I don't find that helping the community.
yeah.
I feel like them type of people is feeding off the community and it's hurting us more than it's helping us. That's just my opinion. I
Yeah,
don't
and you
I
know
don't
what
dare.
though, bro? You know what though, bro? Before we get into what Greg did for you, though, I really do want to kind of like keep going off that. I, it's kind of like what he's exploiting the very community he claims to help from oppression. I mean, like, is that kind of what we're saying? I mean, like his whole gimmick
Hey,
is
listen, I can't say what he doing or what he not doing. What I can say is he's not he's not leading. He's not doing what Dawson's doing.
y'all
I
being
done
too
watch.
nice, bro. Y'all
I
being
done
too
watched the
nice, bro.
video. I done watched the
I got sent
videos.
to jail, bro. Y'all being too nice right now, bro. I was on a wood bench eating a mustard sandwich, bro, and some milk. No,
Wow.
look, so Rick, so please tell me, and for the people watching, man, this. I'm not taking no calls. This is real live testimony from Greg, straight from Zoom. He's in Tampa, Florida. I have no access to the people that he's putting on this call. So if they say anything, don't get mad at me. Rick, what has Greg done for you? And where were you before you met Greg as far as like what was the fucked up situation you needed help with and how did he help you?
Okay. Well, I mean, I was in your same situation where I got that first documentation, and I reached out to Greg. He hit me right back. I told him my situation, and he pretty much gave me the information that I needed to defend myself. He didn't offer to sell me no packet. He didn't give me no one step quick book on how to beat the system. He pretty much just guided me towards the information that dealt with my state and the rules that apply to my state and laws. And I use that to defend myself. And that's what these brothers out here not doing. They trying to sell you a packet like the one you bought, and it didn't apply to your specific situation in no shape, form, or fashion. And me personally, I call that a fraud.
Wow.
You can't call nobody else a fraud without calling yourself a fraud. If you selling false information and you're not really out here helping nobody that's reaching out to you for help. That's my personal opinion. And the motherfucker can take from that what they want.
Right. It's like when we grew up as kids. It take one to know one, right? Because Greg acting
Yeah.
like he don't know. Because Greg acting like he don't know nobody.
Well, I say this. I've seen a lot of people who would give people things that wouldn't benefit them. And I got to give a shout out to my man, Will Crowley. Will's the one who introduced me back in the day. He said he should do the UCC. He also is a credit guy. He's been in the credit business for years, and he does work with people, real estate investors. And he just showed me, say, look, Greg, these guys are talking about this stuff, and I don't want to mention their names because they're not here to defend themselves. But I was a part of a particular kind of movement. And I'll tell you, I do have a Fez. I have my Circle 7. I have the certified, was it authenticated birth certificate? I got all that stuff. But you don't ever hear that when I'm inside the courtroom. None of it. Because this
Wow.
doesn't apply. And so what Will said was, hey, everybody tells you all these sweet stories, but I'm gonna tell you, I was looking at 50 years in prison for uh some of the bills of exchange, for something for bills of exchange. And that was in federal court. Looking at 50 years in federal prison. In fact, if you go to my page, you'll see the interview with Will Crowley, the best interview you could ever get. He tells you the absolute truth. You know what else he did? He gave me a stack of stuff. He probably gave me a library of books, which I went and took to my kid's mom, and they've been in them things for years. He probably 100 books, but he showed me what the outcome was. And when somebody can show it to me and says, "Hey, Greg, this is what can happen," I said, from that day forward, anything I do, I'll show it. Now, I don't know if your screen can allow, but I can show you what an ended docket looks like.
Right.
Because this is what we do in our class. If you would like, I can just show it to them.
Yeah, we could show it. One of the, but I really want to just ask Rick one more question. Is Rick still on the line?
Yeah, I'm still here, bro.
Okay, Rick, because you kind of complicated a little bit. I kind of want to make it short and sweet. What was the issue? What did you want, and what did you end up with? Like, did you
Uh,
want? What was the issue? Did you not have no time with your kids? Was you on child support? What was it? And then what did you
the
want? And what did you
the
actually
the
get at the end?
the issue was improper service.
Yeah,
So
but what were you? What were you? What were you? Were you the defendant? Were you the petitioner in this case?
now I was the defendant, bro.
The defendant. So it was child support coming at you for support.
Correct.
Okay, and then you came at them for the proof of service, and then what did you end up with at the end of all of this?
A dismissed case.
No way.
Yeah.
Was the kids yours?
Yeah, they my kids. I ain't denying my kids, bro. What
So these are
what
your
about
kids.
I'm telling you, based on the state laws within my state and the information that dogs guided me to, like you just asked, what was my issue? The state failed to serve me properly. Well, what's the rule that applies to the issue? Well, in Texas, I don't know what it would be out there, but it's Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 128. You can only serve me in two manners. Now, how does the rule apply to my issue? They did not follow the two rules as required by state law.
Wow.
The conclusion I got was a dismissal.
And what was
Wow.
the first thing that you filed along with what's the first thing that you filed in response to the improper service?
The first document that
Oh, did he go away?
Yeah, he cut out.
Rick, we can't hear you because he might have dropped. He might be because he's a truck driver. I'll tell
So
you,
let me ask you
he
this
filed
though.
he filed a special appearance because that
Oh,
was the first document he filed, and
right,
in that he challenged jurisdiction.
right.
That's
But
why
but if it's dismissed, are they able to bring it up? Because those are his kids.
that's a different issue, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
But it's a different issue, and
Support and custody don't go hand in hand.
they do go hand in hand. But it's a different issue. His issue wasn't. I'm not here to. He wasn't there to address that. He was only there to address the improper service.
Wow.
You start talking about everything else. Now you're defending the case, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Everything's a process.
Yeah.
And
So
I'm gonna say something we say within the groups that I'm in. You can't win if you don't go in, bro.
no, for sure. I feel like a lot of these guys that I've gotten
yo,
my yeah. What's up, Rick? I feel
what
like
I do?
I got a lot of education from these different guys, and I feel like they all run from the situation. Now that I'm kind of hearing your story, it's like, damn, you guys are actually going in and tackling the shit where a lot of these guys, they tell you send the mail back. Uh
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you a saying we got, man. You put it back in the mail, they're gonna send your ass to jail.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that too.
I
but
promise
wait,
you that.
so
Put it
so
back, put it back in the mail if you want. Hey, like my people just told you, man, you can't win if you don't go in.
yeah,
I mean, like you say, you from the hood.
yeah,
You ain't never ran from nothing.
right,
Don't start running now.
Don't
If a
run.
nigga telling you to put it back in the mail, that mean you're running.
We don't
right,
run. We don't run.
And we don't do no running over here.
yeah,
And,
right,
and I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna probably come off a little bit crude, especially for my European and non-Afrocentric people. I have a saying: you can't nigger your way through the system because the system is nigger proof and niggas are the proof. All right.
how you gonna say that on my platform, bro? I gotta beep it, all that, bro. Like, come on now. We got big lights and cameras and shit now, bro.
Hey, listen, play with them people if you want to. They got somewhere for your ass, bro.
No, I found out. I found out the hard way, bro. Because when I did that, and I still, and even when I came out, when I paid the purge and I bonded out, whatever you want to call it, I came out, I had a hearing, and I still told him, I was like, bro, but I knew not to show up in person. I showed up in Zoom, but I think he wanted me to, I can't be sure, but I think he wanted me there in person. And when I told him, I was like, I told him I filed an intent to sue. I was like, you guys are, locked me up on a void order. And I was like, you haven't proven jurisdiction, nothing. They muted me. And he's like, matter of fact, where you at, bro? Where you at right now? I said, shit. I said, I'm far, bro. I said, I'm far. He said, where you at right now? I said, I'm far. He's like, you know what? I want you to come in the courtroom in the next hour. I said, nope, I can't go. Got to pick up my kids. And he's like, you know what? Come tomorrow. And he asked the coordinator, what's the earliest time? And whatever, they gave me that. I was like, man, I just fucking filled out some shit and sent it in. And they got off my back, but I do gotta address the issue though. So like, I can't get a hold of child support is fraud. I can't get a hold of child support made simple. I can't get a hold of Rick W. Can you help me, Greg?
Well, I can look at your situation again. I can't give legal advice, but I could look at your situation. And one thing I can tell from what I am seeing is there's a lot of nothing here, and because from what I'm gathering, it's really simple. I see you have a custody case, and
Yeah,
you have some other information here too that it's kind of interesting. There's a gal involved.
a GAL. Yeah, they put a GAL.
Yeah,
I objected to it.
no, you didn't. But
Yes, I did. Go look at my
no, no,
objection
no, no.
affidavit.
I'm reading it, and when I'm saying no, you didn't. I would say this. I don't know if that is sufficient to get the result that you're looking for. And again, I'm just this is a quick glance. Again, like I say, I'm multitasking, but there would have been a better way to approach it. Also, depending on how Illinois law is, and again, I know Florida backwards, forwards, inside and out. And we've had everything from dismissals to men getting full custody, men having 50-50 or some greater report to where the child support is nominal, if at all. But I see that you have some process issues, and just listening to you speak, you have some very glaring or brazen misunderstandings about process. A lot of that stuff sounds good. They say to people, it doesn't sound good to people who know better. It sounds like gibberish.
Wow.
And I would say this: if it were me, I would step back, put that stuff to the side, and go read the law for what the law is.
So you think I should just take my losses and just move forward?
I didn't say take. Well, I wouldn't look at it as a loss. I would say I look at the court, any court proceeding, as like a boxing match. They're rounds, or like a football game. It's like a drive. No, play is over. You just go on to the next play. The game is not over because you didn't get what you wanted from that play. So what I suggest is you get on to the next play. I haven't seen enough, because again, I can't within this, and this is an interview about some other things, but it would take me some time to look at what your situation is, see where you are, find the appropriate rule to address your issues, and then kind of move forward. It would make sense to me that because you did want custody, that you could have it would seem like you could have raised the custody issue and maybe even stayed the child support case until the finality of the custody arrangement. Because if, say, you both have 50-50, well, if it's like Florida, then what would happen is the guidelines would have to reflect the number of overnights that you have, depending on the mother. And I don't want you to say anything, but depending on the mother's living standard, if your living standard is better or provide a better living standard for the child, well, you could argue that you should be the primary residential caregiver and the mother should have visitation. There's a number of ways that you could have approached it. But I
went in there and I said chicken nugget, bro.
Oh yeah, you said chicken nugget, bro.
I said chicken nugget, bro. But look, I kind of wanna touch on the actual remedy aspect of child support, because I feel like there's a big misconception on what is remedy. I feel like a lot of people just want just get I just don't want to be on child support, but a lot of people don't even want to take care of their kids.
Well, I don't get into that because that's a personal decision, and that's for somebody's morality. Because I'm kind of like, I like what Ant-Man did. Ant-Man said you wanted the baby, he paid, and he was done with it. But that's a different. Everybody has a different story.
Let me ask you this:
remedy is what you want, though. Remedy is what are you looking for? If you want my children, and I want to minimize what my exposure for support is, we can talk about that as well. Because
do you think a guy that doesn't take care of his kids can still maneuver out of child support?
That doesn't take care of? Because that's relative. What do you mean?
He doesn't take care of the kids. He doesn't see the kids. He doesn't see them. He straight abandoned them. Can he get out of child support?
It would be difficult. What would be the basis? Well, the mother could allow him to waive. He could sign off rights. The children could be adopted. There's a process for that in Florida. There's probably, and depending on the situation, you may have some procedural errors that could roll back what your exposure was, because we've had that happen before. We had a gentleman that got credit and wiped out 13 years of support.
Wow.
But, 13 years, because he said he got credit and it went forward and it wiped out the rest of the case. And then, there's a couple of athletes that I've helped. I won't say their name, but and I'll just text you a couple of these names right here of people that I helped that are pro athletes.
Am I allowed to say the name?
No,
not you. I'm not allowed. So then don't tell me.
You could. Well, one everybody knew anyway. I just don't give out the details.
I'm gonna spill the beans, bro. Don't tell me if I can't say it, bro.
Well, the most famous person was this guy, and he was brought to me by somebody else.
Right. I see it. Right. Right. Can I so this guy's in the NBA though. Can we say that?
Not anymore. I think he's retired now. I saw him at the Big Three though.
Like he belongs in the Hall of Fame, bro, or something. He was a really
He
good
is in all,
basketball player.
he is in the Hall of Fame.
Look, oh, he is in the Hall of Fame.
He went
Holy
in this
shit.
he went in this year, remember?
Oh shit. I mean, don't I gotta go do my Googles, bro. All right. So speaking of celebrities, though, there are some celebrities that are dealing with um child support issues. I feel that a lot of child support banks on celebrities, bro. Like that's just what I see. You know, I see a baby mama from the hood. She sits there and she gets pregnant by a ball player, leaves him, gets pregnant by a rapper, leaves him, and
Oh
she's
wow,
rich.
you went
And now
right
she's
there.
rich. She's rich now, bro. She's making more money than my mom that's working at Walmart. Damn, bro. What's wrong? What
Well,
is that like what's going on with the world right now?
I would say this: if I could see their situation, we could possibly minimize their exposure to ping, unless they're so far out there that you can't
My
get them
mom don't
back.
work. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Unless they're so far out there that you can't get them back. But a lot of times it's just somewhere in the process, someone made a mistake. I'll be candid. Like in my cases were all judicial, and when there are judicial issues, procedurally, if there's a violation, that could make that situation reversible. They could possibly adjust it.
I
Um,
need an answer to my question. Why are the baby mamas getting two rich baby daddies, and why is it legal for them to make more money than the average woman who has to slave for $1, bro?
then that's something you take with your politicians or your legislators, have them write a different set of
So
laws.
that's not something that Greg Doss can essentially help a motherfucker get some
Oh,
wiggle room and get up out of
yeah.
there.
No, well, it depends on what you mean get up out of there. Some of the guys have had, I'll give you a scenario. I had a gentleman who played pro football, and the mother was looking for like 10,000 a month.
Holy shit.
By the time we finished, and I didn't, I get pretty animated, the guys will tell you, but by the time we finished, it went from that down to like 11 or 1200, which I didn't want to do that. I thought that was too much. He's like, "Hey, I'm good," and he said I could write this whole thing with one check. Naturally, I went in the corner and tried to find an alligator to go fight, but now it's even lower than that because he's no longer playing in the NFL. But
Right.
just the facts of the case are what are going to determine the outcome.
Right. Yeah, I don't think these baby mamas should be getting rich off having kids. I think that is not an occupation.
Well, I'll tell you this. What I tend not to do is to get into the what they call the entertainment aspect of things. I try to focus on, and again, it's not legal advice, but I just focus on what the legal issue is.
Right.
What is the legal issue? What is the rule that governs that legal issue? How can we apply it, including understand that there's rules and exceptions to rules and exceptions to the exceptions? But how can we help you be able to see and put yourself in a better situation for for you for an outcome that might be comfortable? Like let's say your support now is 1,000, and we can get you relief down to $75 a month. That's relief.
Need a little relief.
You know,
That's a relief. So I actually sent you a picture. And I don't know if you could pull it up on the Zoom. If you can, I'd really appreciate it. But I sent you a screenshot of a situation from Kodak Black, and I wanted to see if we could touch on that. Do you think you
yeah.
can pull that up for me on the Zoom?
It's on my phone, so let me see how I do it on my Zoom.
You just got to email it to yourself and
Yeah, I'm looking at this. Let's take a look at that.
While you on there, can I talk to some people that are on the Zoom calls, man? I gotta fact check you, man. I gotta fact check
I
you,
got a
bro.
guy. I see Mike is inside
And
here.
unmute all of them. I'm gonna talk to them all while you go get this picture, bro. Cause I need to make sure Greg Dawes is who he say he is.
Peace.
Who we got on the call, man?
This is Mike Lewis, Fort Walton native, Florida boy.
Florida boy.
Been with Greg 2 months, man. This shit is life changing and revolutionary from the first moment you talk to him.
Hold
from the
on, Mike.
first.
Though this is some Florida bias shit. You can't just side with your
Call it
people,
what you
bro.
want. It's all truth, regardless.
So tell me. So okay. So tell me a little bit about your story, bro.
Oh, I was a packet boy believer. I got into it years ago.
See,
Years ago, before it was trending, before it
yeah.
was ever trending, before child support was fraud, was that guy. I was involved with these type of dudes. I started with some lame ass cat named Dev Hock. He was on child support, telling me how to beat it. He played the
What?
jurisdiction game. Then I went to the, I spent a few $100s with him for a dear colleagues form and a dear colleagues letter in the COL form.
Yeah, DOJ letter.
Yeah, none of it fucking mattered. None of it mattered.
Wow.
So
Wow.
400 out my pocket there, and again, I got a contempt hearing coming up. They didn't even bring up the fact that I need to focus on the contempt rather than the actual jurisdiction shit. Right? I
Right. The
never played the
bullshit.
jurisdiction game. I wasn't one of
Did you
them
go in
foolish
there saying
kids.
you were a living soul, bro?
Yeah, no, I wasn't never stupid. Mom, I'm dumb, but I ain't stupid. So I did. I went to. I found a more sophisticated kind of guy. I thought I did when Chris with child support made simple. Man,
Oh, don't
listen.
get me started on him, bro.
Man, listen, man.
Hold on, Mike. You gonna bring him up though?
It's a sensitive topic. I get it, man, but it
Come
is
on,
what it
bro. No,
is.
we gonna talk about child support made simple. What they do to you, bro? What did he do to you, bro?
The same shit they do, family. They charge you. They give you a packet of papers. At least Chris from child support made it simple. At least put my name on it. But if you go and read the paperwork, it's got someone else's name throughout it. It's got some real bloopers that I'm glad the courts didn't read it, didn't even acknowledge it. Demand for trial by jury, bill of
Wow.
particulars,
Not
uh,
applicable.
none of it, man.
Wow.
Motions to dismiss, demands to vacate. I did all of it too. I did it
Yeah.
all. I did it all, but run my mouth like that. I never did that. I knew better than to do that because I was believing, like
Yeah.
Greg taught me, there is no magic bullet. There's
So,
only
Mike,
step by step
let me
process.
ask you something about child support made simple, bro. Because I've been trying to get on the phone with him. It seems like he's trying to dodge me. I think he blocked me off the Zoom call. Why he blocked me, bro?
Well, listen, you ain't paying for that. You got what you asked for. He never
What
said it
I
was going to
asked for,
work.
bro.
He never said it was going to work. When I look back at my mistake, because I stand on Greg's platform and principles of I don't really like to speak on anybody ain't here to defend themselves.
Right.
So without me speaking on him as a person, a company, or a personality, all I can tell you is I look back and I got what I asked for. I got laughed at. I got played. I wasted. I mean, I didn't get no jail time, but at the
Yeah.
same time,
You know what?
at,
You know what though? You know what, bro? Y'all being a little modest, and you want to know why? I'm gonna tell you how I feel about that shit. I could give a fuck if he's here to defend himself. And you want to know why I feel like that? Because I was in jail and he didn't answer my phone, so I could give a fuck if he's here to defend himself. If he wants to defend
but
himself, he
listen to
actually could
yourself,
reply.
B.
He's actually really big on YouTube, so he could actually respond to this video if he feels some type of way, bro. So I mean, the thing is that how do we sit here and we want to show respect to people who clearly don't respect us?
Well, this is what I say to that. Only to make sure if Chris May's child support simple does come across this, he did clearly state that this is all information. You do what you want with it.
Right.
Minus the call to action section, minus the man, it sounded real good. All those fucking Florida state, all those federal statutes and all these numbers with these subsections and all this.
Right.
He just was here to give hope to the people.
Yeah.
We hoped that shit worked, and he hoped we kept calling him and giving him more money. That's all he was promising. All
Right.
these motherfuckers did was get some clout. They was really genius to be on the front end of one of the stupidest trends I've ever seen go across the internet. I thought, I thought the internet was bad, but now we got brothers scamming other brothers and sisters. There's women calling in trying to get relief from a bad child support order. When this is
Wow.
truly about these negative administrative officials that are playing a game that nobody's willing to learn. So when I
Yeah.
got with Greg, it went from this animated, overthinking, losing sleep type of nasty. I couldn't even recognize myself after so long. But
Yeah.
one phone call, Greg took more time than I paid for to make sure I was crystal clear on whatever it was. He checked in with me. But the point is not to commercialize or put a commercial out for Greg. If you smart, you'll fuck with him. If you still believe that shit's gonna work, go ahead, do your thing. If you like it, I love it. But when
let me ask you this, Mike. What was the what was the problem, and what did you actually want out of the case, and what did you end up with?
Well, my case is interesting because I've never been quite the player. I'm in a situation where the mom is a dope head. I ain't gonna call her like it's not like that, but she got behaviors of a modern woman, right? The kids are in a rough, influential environment per some piece of paper that some administration told, right? I was never afforded my rights to any type of time sharing or visitation. I've never been properly served anything. In this last few years, it's just been one piece of mail every year to put a purge claim against me. I give them their thousands and thousands of dollars, never getting the opportunity to have the appropriate time with the kids, never being afforded the chance to take them away from a negative environment. Because only thing I will tell you that them boys say is correct. Child support is not for the benefit of the kid. It's really not. And there's a part of me that did this shit because I'm sick of this bitch, and it's a part of me that did this because something just ain't fucking right. This just ain't right. So when I called Greg, he cleared it up. He went to the rules that they wrote, and he showed me that whether it's not about right or wrong, is did you follow the rules? Right. So peel back that banana, and everything is just execution and preparation. And preparation and execution, step by step, like he's told you, that boxing match.
Right.
And then Greg's teaching it, he keeps it real simple where he told me, he like, you'll train a whole season. You'll put 100 hours on the field to play 5 minutes. And it hit me so hard because when I go in front of these people, none of that stuff mattered. They didn't care not one word. Every word that I thought was powerful or some sort of coercive or put them on their heels, they check their watch because they know they want to go to lunch and blew right past it.
Man, Mike, let me tell you this, Mike. I went in there with my fist balled up, bro.
Yeah, see, you got what you was asking for.
Yeah,
you got. That's the stuff that we got to unlearn. These dudes they had me believing that there was a fight going on here. We gonna consider it a war, but it isn't so traumatic once you realize that they do have a set of rules to follow. And at some point, if you fight long enough and strategic enough, you can get to the ears and eyes that can do something. These local officials are clicked up. Every county has a clique. Everybody goes to the same shopping centers and private schools. So for the common man to go in there and kick the table out from under him, you're a fucking fool and deserve whatever happens to you if you send in that packing information. Brother, I went from Rick with the paperwork, Dev Hot, Gorilla Glenn, fathers traded for child support. I done did in the TJ with the scar. I done did this shit 5 times.
Wait, so you whoa. You just dropping too many bombs. So you saying that you bought paperwork off Rick W and ChildSupportIsFraud?
And Dev Hot and Gorilla Glenn and
but nobody knows all them. Nobody knows them, bro. I'm talking about ChildSupportIsFraud.
Them boys in business, man. Bullshit. They don't. There's so many dudes out here desperate for this information that they'll believe this shit because they're that desperate. Yeah. They take all that desperation and gets rid of it and continues to call. There's nothing desperate when you're just following the rules. Yeah. You ain't gotta be emotional at all, or you wouldn't have to submit emotion. This shit Greg teaching is practical, logical, and I don't know. Y'all boys better get him. He's about done helping us. We acting real foolish.
What do you mean? What do we mean? Who's done helping us?
Boy, y'all better get Greg some flowers. The man ain't getting his respect out here. Y'all keep fucking clicking these dumbass niggas with.
No, Mike. No, Mike. We giving him his flowers. I gotta I gotta make sure he's the real deal, bro. I gotta make sure he's the real deal, bro, because I'm gonna bring his name out here in Chicago, and they gonna fuck with Greg, bro. You know, here's the thing, though. I will say this though, just I sent Greg my docket and all the stuff I put in there, and all he asked me on this podcast is all you got is three fucking questions.
3 statements. They
Oh,
make 3 statements.
you got to complain with 3 questions, and you ain't even answer the questions, bro. And he did that in this short,
Don't it
whatever
hurt?
time it was. Y'all could go time date it, but
Listen, it's a beautiful
I
thing,
was
man.
never told to respond to that, bro, from
Yeah,
none of these
no, I get
guys.
it. I heard your story. I was listening. I get it, man. I did the
Yeah,
same
bro.
shit. Greg, bro, nobody has ever even asked me to mention the word docket. Nobody's mentioned the word original order, original petition. Nobody's even told me you got to get to the root of the problem before you do all this shit. You literally walking in and yelling out your side of your neck and then
Yeah,
say, do y'all understand me? And nobody even heard what you said because it's a form and fashion to this. There's rules in a court, and that's all it is. We
yeah.
just so bent out of shape because we've been done away that goes against our character. They don't know what really it is. Man, I'm the one that buy my kids everything. That girl can't
Right.
even manage her EBT. She fucked that up.
Yeah. No, and see, I feel that, and I think I can relate a lot to you, Mike. Like, we we uh we try to give the baby mama some type of grace, but it's like, damn, like they just trying to put us through the system like we ain't who he is.
But
Hey,
I
what's
tell
up?
you, Greg like to tap in on a level of intellectual property. So he's helped me as a man. See, I'm in my 40s, but he has put me in a position to see that this was all built through time. I grew up thinking child support was normal. I expected it. It
Yeah,
was like a
yeah.
little white girl dreaming to get married. It's normal the ways to think. So when I got older, man, baby mama drama, baby daddy, child support, jail,
That's
that
normal.
shit was so normal to me. I
Yeah,
never knew that it had rules. I
yeah.
just thought the rule was niggas go to jail for no reason. That's what
All right.
there's some dudes out here that's really a piece of work and don't deserve what they do get. But there's a lot of times, maybe it's just because it's my aura. I'm seeing the dudes that are trying their best to be the better one in the relationship. But this modern shit, these girls got too much power. These officials aren't trained properly. They don't
Yeah,
even know their own rules. When I started talking about the rules in my contempt hearing, everything shifted. You could feel the whole vibe shift. While every
yeah.
time I've screamed about my constitutional rights and all this due process shit,
Right.
you got to stick to the rules, man. You really do got to follow the lead of a strong man. And with these dudes out here taking this information, putting a real affiant tone of voice on it, like everybody should just get it. It's so simple. This shit is not simple. If
Hey,
it
No, it's
was,
not.
we
It's
real
wouldn't be
not.
quick.
here.
Hey, I got somebody that you might find interesting.
Can we, before we do that, can we pull up the Kodak though?
Yeah, I was looking at the Kodak thing.
I want to read it, pull it up. I want you to read it, and then I kind of want you to just, just freestyle. What's going on with that? I mean, I want the people to see this Kodak situation.
Well, I'm going to say this. Can you see him on the screen now?
I could see it, but I mean, yeah, I can't really read from here.
No, I can read. I can read. It says he's been reportedly ordered to pay $10,000 a month in child support plus $50,000 to the child's mother, so she can purchase a car for transportation and pay her $90,000 in attorney fees. I can't. That just seems to be what he was ordered to do. I don't know how he got there. If I could get a copy of the case summary, which is a docket, see what was filed, how he got there. I don't know. I don't know who his attorney was. I don't know anything, but this seems to be the end result. It seems to be excessive. I don't know what he was willing to do, not willing to do. I have no idea. I think it's quite a bit of money. Was he married to this lady?
and I don't think so. He wasn't married. Oh,
Does he have time sharing? Because Florida would give him a guaranteed time sharing.
I mean, it's Kodak Black. I doubt he's time sharing.
No, he's guaranteed. There's a presumption that he's fit, unless there's something that shows that he's not.
So okay, so maybe that's what it is. Maybe because he might not be fit, because he's got a big drug drug using history.
Yeah, but a bad parent still has the right to be a parent.
Wow. So you would tackle this situation how? Like pretend Kodak is on the Zoom call, man. And I know you got to see his docket, but fuck it, we don't got the docket. It's Kodak
So I
Black,
said,
man.
I want to see let me see your docket. Let me see what was filed. Let's see how you responded. And then we just would break down what the guidelines would ask because my guy is not in here. Our financial guy is not in here, but because there's a maximum amount at some point that he's going to hit. And
Oh wow, for real? I
yeah,
didn't know that.
the hell.
I did not know that there was a cap limit on child support.
Yeah, well, there's a scale in the way the scale slides. It is, and there's probably so many other nuanced issues in his case because of who he is and his economic capacity. But still, he doesn't owe her a living just because she had a baby. How does that make sense? Child support is not supposed to be a windfall.
And I feel like that's what a lot of women do nowadays, bro.
Well, maybe a lot of guys waive certain protections.
So who you got on the call though?
I think he might be able to talk to you. I don't know because if he's riding, then we'll just bring him on another time. Hey, Jerome, you there? Can y'all hear him?
No, I don't hear him.
They can't hear you, Tiger.
Oh, we got Tiger in here.
Yeah, he's the one that
I seen you just dropped a video today with Tiger, am I correct?
Yes.
And it looked like he wiped 115K in arrears and got custody. Is that true?
Yeah.
Ain't no way, bro. I gotta talk to this guy. Let me see for myself.
Well, he's actually on the phone. He's in the car. I don't does Zoom have a phone number?
I'm not sure, bro.
I'll try to, but there's some other people in here who could give you some
Let's get a couple more before I get this last topic and we close out.
Okay. Hey. Yes, sir.
You can hear me?
See, now why you can say yes, sir, but I can't say yes, sir, bro.
That's how I am. Can y'all hear him?
Yo.
Can y'all hear Tiger?
I hear him. Who we got on the phone right now? Hey, Greg, can we take off the Kodak?
Oh yes, absolutely.
All right, who we got on the phone right now?
The Tiger.
Tiger, oh man, hey, I just watched your video, bro. Your story is fucking inspiring, bro. I want to hear it. The people got to hear it, man. This guy's story is insane. I encourage you right now, after you watch this video, go look up Greg Doss and on the podcast at the Chop Shop where Tiger tells his testimony. Go ahead, Tiger, man. We hearing you.
Yes, sir. What's going on with y'all?
Man, we chilling, we vibing, man.
All right. What's the topic?
No.
The topic is packet boys, bro.
Tiger didn't have a packet boy. Tiger had me.
I know, I'm trolling. I'm just kidding, man. Okay.
Right.
The topic is child support, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to know, like, is Greg Doss the real deal, bro? Because there's a lot of frauds out here.
Well, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can only speak on my behalf. You know what I mean? And he's been I'll call him a captain of the ship. You know what I mean? He guided me in the right direction. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know anything about fighting child support and no shit like that or whatever. And like you say, it's always somebody out there to tell you this and tell you that. You know what I mean? And you waste your time following and sending motherfuckers some money and shit. And they don't know half or nothing. You know what I mean? Well, Greg guided me. He kind of motivated me. I mean, I said, well, shit, if Greg, if goddamn Greg and get set up at court, you know what I mean, and challenge the, jurisdiction or child support or timeshare or whatever else, you know what I mean? I finally stepped in and, stepped on the court, man, you know what I mean, and tied my shoestrings up.
Yeah. So do you feel like what? Okay, let me ask you this: with dealing with Greg, do you feel like he told you, look, bro, this is you're doing this and it ain't working because you need to really be moving like this? Is that kind of the approach he took, or was it like what really are you learning from dealing with him?
When I met Greg was so arrogant with this shit, and
bro. He is, bro. Let's talk about
He's
it.
so arrogant with the shit, you know what I mean? And being that, I was from the streets, I kind of took it the wrong way, you know what I mean?
Right.
But once I got to know Greg, Greg was sending me, he never did anything like directly for me, you know what I mean? He would send me the literature and I would read it. It'd be 2 o'clock in the morning, I get a text, it's Greg sending me, some literature to read, you know what I mean?
At 2 in the morning.
I would get up like before I went to work and read it or whatever. I mean, I would call him back and we would have conversations. You know what I mean? And he kind of walked me through. You know what I mean? And actually, he gave me the courage. Because being when I was from the streets, I didn't ever want to be in no courtroom.
Wow.
So I let a lot of shit slide that I shouldn't have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But once I got with Greg, you know what I mean, and I said, no, he ain't arrogant at all. He just knows, what the fuck he's talking about.
He's confident in what he's telling you, right?
Right, you know what I mean? So, once I redirected, how I took everything in and listened to him more, everybody has to learn from somebody. Yeah. You just don't pick up this on his own. Like, I don't know, Greg's just one of them guys that gets in that book, you know what I mean, and they reads, and he's just a challenging guy. I just say by Greg. Like, Greg, he don't like to be beat, you know what I mean? So if you shoot Greg down one way, he going back to the books, and he finds another motion to come back a different way. Right. And it motivated me to, know that it was somebody that I can learn from, And then once I start, doing the research and the reading and paying attention to what the literature that he sent me, I start, feeling a little bit more confident about myself. This for me being from the streets, I don't want to go in no courtroom. I don't want to see no judge. I don't want to see no police. I don't make anything with my name attached to it. I'll sit it back, all that. Yeah. But once I got into the court, and I kind of built up my, I guess I built my nuts up. You know what I mean? To stand in the courtroom. You know what I mean?
Come on, man. We got kids watching. We got kids watching, bro.
Okay. But yeah,
we got kids watching.
My bad. Once I built my courage up, it was just easy for me to stand in there and know that if everybody else can win, I can win. Y'all been putting your foot on my neck for so long, but now I'm gonna challenge you like Greg did. And then it worked in the long run. You know what I mean? I end up with full custody of my son.
No way.
Yeah, end up with full custody of my son. That first got me challenged the courts. Then after I got custody of my son, I got like 4 or 5 cases. I done challenged the back pay, and I done gave all that back.
Ain't no fucking way, bro.
Yeah, I done gave that back.
Where you from, Tiger? Where you from? Where you at?
I'm from Tampa.
Tampa. Man, hey, Greg, you got all this Tampa shit going on. This is some inside job shit, bro.
I actually don't have very many Tampa people at all. And, Tiger used to get on me, guys. I used to be it bothered me that I was available for so many people here locally. And, right. I'm accessible, and somebody else is going to come on about my accessibility. And I don't have a large Tampa following, and I have very few people in Tampa.
All right.
I don't know what it is.
So what I'm hearing, bro, is I'm hearing that I was led the wrong way and I need to fuck with Greg Doss, bro. That's what I'm getting from this podcast, bro. Like, I'm not, the thing is, bro, like, there's not a lot of people that have proof.
Right.
You got Michael, Rick, Tiger. You changed their lives, bro. You didn't take advantage of their ignorance on the subject. You didn't take advantage of their back against the wall. You didn't do none of that shit, bro. You really changed their lives, bro. I've never seen something like that, man.
Well,
so I definitely. If you're watching this, for the people watching, let this be the proof you need if you really are looking for somebody that is genuine, that has integrity in their craft. Definitely. So what's up, Greg?
I want to say this before I let Tiger go, that because of our unique dynamic, I was actually going to quit once Tiger got over, because there's a couple other guys that were what they would consider to be street guys that we got over. But once Tiger did it, and I was just like, man, I was like frustrated that I couldn't get more people so I could help them. Not about the money, just to help them. But
Yeah.
it was like, he's like, you can't force them, Greg. And Tiger knows I'll go up to I'll show up at the DOR with you and do these kind of things, because I believe there's a lot of people that could really be helped, especially here. Nobody in Tampa has an excuse, right, Tiger? Nobody.
I should tell Greg, I'll say, Greg, you're doing too much. You know what I mean? Like, if you can guide somebody, you can guide somebody, but it's not your job to do what they should be able to do for themselves. You know what I mean? So if you're able to send me some literature and I can read it, now I can stand in the courtroom by myself. I think everybody that puts their mind to wanting to win wins. Like I said, I had 10 cases. I had 10 cases. You know what I mean? I got custody of my son, full custody of my son. You know what I mean? And that was the first step. And then the cases that I owe back pay for, I started closing out them cases.
Wow.
Yeah, it can be done.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying, though, Greg. It's like these are real people, real lives, and
Hey,
it's like,
appreciate you, Tiger.
Yes, sir.
hey, love, Tiger, appreciate you dropping in. So I believe you, Greg. I believe you, Greg. I don't want to believe you.
You gotta believe me, because I don't. If I said it this way, people would take it the wrong way. I don't care that much.
You should though, bro.
I just think that people could win. I think we have one more, and she can close it out.
But hold on. But I mean, you could start putting her on. But the thing is though, Greg, is if you don't do this, if you do not do this, and God forbid tomorrow you're not here, we have to wait another 100 years, 20, 40 years for another Greg Doss, or for you to reincarnate and live the life and do the shit again because you decided not to help people right now, bro.
I don't think it's like that, but
Yeah, bro. We gotta start. We gonna put this school together for you, bro. We need the people to follow you and subscribe to the school so people can learn, so you can keep doing this, bro. I'm not gonna let you stop. But yeah, who you got on the phone though?
I got Miss Benell. I'm waiting for her she has to unmute. I think she has to hit the action button or something. Oh, she's on there.
Oh, I didn't.
What's your name?
Cersei.
Sersky?
Cersei. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. I'm glad the information is finally getting out there.
Definitely. Where are you from?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, see, now we got somebody who's not so biased and from Tampa. Okay, so from somebody from, so what, how do you know Greg? Is he the truth?
He's been the truth. I
Man.
think Greg just is in denial of the fact that a lot of people aren't confident going into the courtroom. Like, he doesn't have a problem with it, and there's some people who don't, but the majority of people do, because of the theatrics, and it's set up for people to be intimidated when going in the courtroom. Just like I've told him for quite some time, these people spent a lot of money to go to school to get these degrees, and they have these systems set up. So they're not just going to let you come in,
right? They're going to lock your ass up
and knock it down, right? You're going to have to work through it. So, there are a lot of guys that are looking for an easy out. There is no easy out. And the reason these, which you'll call them package boys, are successful, because you have people with a 5th grade comprehension level speaking about something, and it sounds simple, but it's not that simple. Going to jail is simple.
I don't know why you guys want to laugh at me, bro. So Packet Boys, Child Support is Fraud. How do you feel about him?
I think he's a nut.
A nut is crazy.
Anybody
What do you mean?
Him,
he's a nut.
He's a nut because if you listen to him, what he says doesn't make sense. In addition to that, The thing that he has as evidence clearly shows that he just brought the mistake to the attention of the court and it was resolved. He didn't have to fight through anything. It wasn't his kid.
Wait, whoa. Wait, you know his case?
I looked his case up
No,
because
wait, you looked his case up.
because
No, you didn't. No,
someone
you
sent me
didn't.
someone sent me one of his posts, and I think he's a moron. So I'm like, this guy is a moron. And so I said he was a moron in the comments. So he's like, oh, I got proof. And he was like, go to my page and look for proof. Say less. I did.
No way. Okay,
And then
so his case is public record?
yes, it is.
Okay,
So
so
anybody could go look at this.
Yes. All
All
you
right,
gotta
Greg.
go
Hey,
do is
Greg, when we
look
get
up
off, we're
Lying
gonna go look at
Lionel.
this. The
Yes,
lying
Lying
Lionel is
Lionel.
crazy.
Lying Lionel was in LA County, I believe. LA
Right.
County, California. All you gotta do is put Lion Lionel's government. I mean, he got his document up there with his name on it. Just go look at it.
Wow. So okay, so what was his case though? Because Greg's not too familiar with the case, I guess, today. So yeah, let's hear from you. What is
Okay.
the case?
So basically the case was some broke woman needed welfare,
He's coming crazy.
right?
wild.
Some broke chick needed welfare. Okay, or let me not say that. Someone in desperate need needed welfare. Okay,
Right.
let me phrase that better, right? She needed welfare, and when they fill out the paper, you got to put somebody's information. She could have put Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. You know what I'm saying? She could have put you,
But you put child
right?
support is fraud.
But she put Lying Lionel on the paperwork. So because I don't know, I guess they weren't able to get in contact with him. I don't know how that part went as far as how did they get to where he got a default judgment, they were garnishing him, whatever he claims happened. But he finally responded to it, right? And he just provided documentation showing his age, whatever. He challenged it, and they were like, oh yeah, you're right. Dismissed. Filed an error. The end. He had to fight nothing.
So, but one of the key components that I heard, and I'm wondering if anybody on the call can let me know if what I'm saying is correct, but he actually had an inside connection. I think somebody at the clerk's office or something.
Listen, the clerk will help you if you ask questions, or if they see you don't know what the hell you doing.
Yeah,
No.
well,
I heard a different story. I heard he was smashing the chick in the clerk's office. Is that
He
true?
might have been. Maybe that's why she was chummy. I don't know. But what I do know
Wow. So maybe
is
because he doesn't file he files written demands. He doesn't file motions. So do you
okay.
think that
First of
maybe
all,
there's no. Is that in the court record that he does that?
no, that's on his Instagram.
Yeah.
lies. He ain't filed not one writ in his own case because it didn't take all that.
Wow, so he never filed no writs or
There was
demands?
no writ, and a writ for what? There are all types of writ. A writ is just a type of document. That type of document for what? A
I'm
writ
saying
for
so
what?
he's
Possession
lying
of
on his
what?
content
And,
then.
and, typ- and
I'm
typically you wouldn't
asking
file a
you, is
writ.
he
You
lying
wouldn't
on his
file a writ in
content?
a circuit court anyway. Typically, it's a circuit court case, so he would have filed a writ to the appellate court. Typically,
Right.
in this case, never got to the appellate court level. The circuit
Okay.
court did its job. It just corrected. The circuit
Yeah.
court corrected its error, or the
That's
issuing
it.
court just corrected its error.
So Daniel, you want to hear something mind blowing?
I would love it.
Okay. So I was just suing SafeLight recently, right? I just sued SafeLight Auto Glass, me by myself, an individual, because they had me bent like elbows and knees about the shabby job they did to my car, right?
Right.
And guess what? I filed something into the record, but I forgot to add a page. And you know what happened? The clerk called me. She was like, hey, I see that you were attempting to file this, but I can't accept it unless you file this too. So I'm going to go ahead
Wow.
and reject it, add it, and then resubmit it, and I'll go ahead and approve it. So you don't think they work like that in LA?
Wow.
Yeah, they, they,
You
Wow.
see what
they,
I'm saying?
they, they can be
Yeah.
helpful at times. Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so is he some legal eagle or another ass nigga? I don't know. You can pick.
I don't know. I was on his Instagram today and he was rolling in the grass at the graveyard talking about arrears chasing him to the grave. I don't know how I feel about that.
Listen, I saw him around here in front of the ATM. I saw him in front of the ATM talking about garnishing. That nigga's a noodle. He's a
No.
nut. I saw
He
it
said
like that
comment
whole.
ban. He said comment levy, and he's gonna respond. He had about 100
Yeah,
comments, 100 levies.
but here's the thing, though. There is going to be a levy because you're going to jail.
Wow. Yeah, I
Because that
did.
stuff that he's doing is not helping anyone. And you know what's so disheartening for me is the fact that there are people that are out here in desperate situations, and he's basically exploiting their desperation,
Wow. See, finally
right?
somebody said it on the call. I didn't want to say it. I was trying to get.
Yeah, he's exploiting that, and it's not fair. And I feel like a lot of men don't come forward because y'all got your egos and all that, and y'all don't want to look crazy.
No,
But you're in a desperate
no, we're on.
situation.
No. I put my story out there. I could give a fuck about being embarrassed. The people got to know he is exploiting the people who need help.
Exactly. And
For real.
lucky for you, you were able to, pay your way out of the situation. What about those who can't?
That's important,
Oh,
right
wait,
there.
whoa. So you're talking about like what if a CTA driver he got locked up that day, couldn't go to drive his route the next day, lost his job, came out six
Yep.
months, couldn't pay it. Yeah, well, what about
Yep.
people like that though? You
Lost
think
his
you think
job,
he's leaving
lost
them
his
on red?
car,
Is he leaving
lost
them on red though?
Yep. Yeah, he is.
Wow.
Of course he is.
Wow.
Why wouldn't he?
Yeah. See,
What
and Greg picks up his phone though.
Listen, I don't even think he need to pick up his phone because I really feel like he's above that.
No, but that
Like
shows you
them
what kind of person he is though.
he's such a good person, and he's such a good person that he got these nuts that he'll try to help because he's such a genuine person,
We
and
gotta
they'll
put
be
it
trying to
PG. We got
call.
kids watching.
I'm sorry.
Listen, we gotta keep it PG. We got kids watching.
Okay, I apologize, but nonetheless, but nonetheless, right? He'll try to help genuinely because he's been there and he understands how useful someone like him could have been for him while he was going through what he was going through. So he shows up how he would have loved to have someone to flank and show up for him as they're going through these situations. But
That's
what does
deep.
he get? He gets people who buy packages and then report fraud.
Yeah. Hey, if Greg turns packet boy, I don't know what I would do.
No, he
Okay,
doesn't.
well,
And the
I can't
crazy
do that.
part is, no one can make you a packet. No one can make you a packet that's going to be effective if they don't know anything about your case. I just wonder, do y'all read them?
I read them and I
Because
memorized them, and I went into the court with my fist balled up, face blue, and he locked me up. That's not true story.
Hey, look, man, it's
Yeah.
not.
Hey, thank you for getting on the call, though. Thank you for getting on the call. Definitely appreciate the testimony
no
and
problem.
everything you had to say. Yeah, I feel like these guys are being nice. So if finally somebody about that life hopped on the call.
I would say this if possible because I don't know as we get ready to close this out.
No, we got one more topic and then we're gonna close out. But go ahead.
I was gonna say anybody who's done something, I've been always firm on this thing. A person can show you what they've done, and it doesn't tell you how they did it. So when I used to go into and people would ask me questions, and you'll see things other than just my child support stuff. But just because it's a topic, this is the child support case information. And inside of here, you'll see dockets. And this is my Dropbox. But you can like this is what a docket looks like, our case summary. And everybody should have it. You should see the name, the given name, and it's all public record. That's why I don't have any problem showing it.
Wow.
But go down to the very bottom of this, and I was getting my ass kicked for a long time, bro. But you go down to the bottom of this. Can you see that?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Termination of child support services.
That's insane. Yeah, dismissed.
Yeah. And then there's another one, another case, different case number, different individual case.
Yeah, for the people that's watching that maybe got a letter in the mail like I did, you guys are gonna get real familiar with what he's pulling up. It's an actual docket file, and the docket file is basically a fucking a record of what you guys are talking about in the case.
Yeah. And then so you get the hint. There's other ones here. You'll get the same thing, like the end of child support letters. And for those who don't know, my given name is Chagret. So that's not a secret. So I had a guy tell me one time, it's not even you, it's not Greg, it's some guy named Sergeant. Hey man, my mom didn't name me no damn Greg. My name is Chagret. But that's my name. And it says, this is just one of them. We told them to reinstate your license because we're no longer enforcing the support order.
So you didn't forge these documents and make these documents
Hey, I tell people all the time, I'm not creative. I don't sing. I don't play any instruments. I catch a football and I can dance. And then let me come up out of here. And this is the stuff that was in the Dropbox, which is actually on the how do you do this stuff? Proof. And you'll see other stuff in there also. And this is the one that I think I liked more, which is kind of interesting.
Oh wow, we on good time. All right, I'm back, man. I'm back with another one. Thought it wasn't gonna be another one. All right, what you showing the people, man?
Right there, the termination of child support services.
Okay.
You see the clerk stamp?
Yeah. So these are real documents.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah, you guys are lucky you're showing you this because out of everybody I've ever rocked with on this journey, I've never seen somebody's paperwork.
Now, even though this is the case that a lot of people found out about me, which is the Denton case, the one that's on my page where I'm got the green background. This judge just decided not to see me anymore. So you see it closed it.
All right.
There you go.
So one of the things that I mean that's all the truth you guys need. So there's really nothing else to say. It's in black and white right there. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is
here's the driving cases as well. So I know people probably this is about child support, but unfortunately or fortunately, all these are cases that I won that dealt with driving. See that? No process, driving without license, which actually they say no process, but I had to go to court multiple times. And it's the same thing you get from the Dropbox. A couple of these are going to be dismissed like that. Same thing. See, that was a felony one, reduced to county, and it got dismissed in the county. Criminal traffic dismissed. I got to actually update this. But go ahead. We can come
Speaking of traffic, there's a guy that I interviewed. He goes by the name of Don Kalam. He's actually one of the most recent interviews I dropped, and he's got this his I don't even know what to call it, approach on law and private life and stuff like that. And it just sounds really good, but I like to play devil's advocate and I don't want to really slander his name, but I do want to know what his teachings looks like to somebody like you. And one of the things that he was doing was teaching people how to become an actual national and to, basically not use a birth certificate, get this different type of passport, and actually have an ID. He's actually, I think, creating these IDs. How do you feel about that?
Before we do that, I want you to talk to somebody because he's here and he's important to anybody who may call me. If you can give him a couple minutes that he has to go. He's a former college football quarterback, but he's one of the guys that's we're a team, we're a unit here. Rick, unmute. And this is a gentleman that makes things so much easier for a lot of the guys that have numbers issues. Rick, tell them who you are and what you do for the GD Napsy brand.
All right. Hey, how you doing there, man? Rick here.
What's the word, man? How you feeling?
All right. Good. So my background is finance and accounting. I have an accounting degree, and then I have a master's degree, and I've been kind of in the corporate world for probably the last 25 years. Worked for some big companies, Disney, Target, Gatorade, Tropicana, and I've done finance and accounting for those corporations that make billions of dollars. And then secondarily, I help individuals with their personal finance and their businesses, and just helping them understand profit and loss statements and all of that good stuff. And then as it relates to child support, because a lot of us have to go through the trials and tribulations of child support. And really, number one, you got to know your case, and number two, you got to know the finances, because money is what matters. So I've helped guys. We've looked through their case and understood the financials. And by understanding the financials and pretty much every person's case that I've reviewed, there's errors in the case. Now, in finance, numbers are numbers, but you have to ensure that the inputs going into the calculator is correct in order to get the correct output. And with a lot of the guys that I've reviewed, the inputs going in are incorrect. Therefore, it leads to a higher child support payment. So I'm kind of the person too that will help people to review their numbers and their case such that it can be lowered. And one example, this gentleman, he has a few kids, but anyway, the court based him as only having one child, so he wasn't getting credit for his other kids, and that's significant. And then two, a lot of people may not be getting credit if you're paying the insurance. So it's just little different things that I can help people with as we review their case.
Nice, man. That's dope. So you guys work together.
Yeah, he actually came. He's known me for a while, and kind of used the service, but he's on his own. But he's the guys around me are way smarter than me. I'll just say that.
Right. I ain't trying to hear it, bro. You're very smart. So, but I do want people to know you guys can get all of this service from Greg. We're gonna make sure we put all of the information that you need to get in contact with him in the description below. But you're not dodging this topic, bro. How do you feel about this guy making IDs and saying that he can drive and speed off on the cops?
Well, you can make an ID. Whether it's legal or not is a different issue.
Yeah.
I personally would not suggest playing with these people like that, especially in this political climate. If you want excitement, go to Busch Gardens or go to Disney World or something. I don't know. I don't suggest doing anything that would put you in jeopardy, physical jeopardy, unless you're really trying to make a point. I'll say I could be Nelson Mandela on principle. I've been told that it's not wise, but a lot of what I learned was based upon principle. So I was willing to go to jail, willing to figure it out. I had tremendous support from my family, and they would just shake their heads because why don't we just pay it all? I'm like, don't take the one thing that I have, which is my fight. I wouldn't suggest it. And going back to what Miss Cersei said is, I would, if I had known me years ago, I would not be on this phone call now.
Yeah,
no doubt. So I don't suggest doing anything that's silly, because your freedom is your freedom, and many people have responsibilities. I don't know enough about what this guy's supposedly doing, but I know who issues. In fact, the constitutions tell you who can issue certain kinds of document. It's built into the Constitution of the United States government and the state government.
One of his biggest things was, if there's no victim, there's no crime.
But what if it's not a crime? What if the issue is not a criminal issue?
Then there's nothing to talk about.
Okay, but the states have the right to regulate the roads. That's part of the police powers of the state, and those powers are not delegated to the federal government through the Constitution. Thus, it goes to the states.
But I'm sure that you're familiar with the people who are doing this whole driving, getting pulled over thing, and they say, I'm traveling. How do you feel about that?
Okay. Just let me know how it works out.
So, are they going to jail, bro? Am I going to see them in there with me when I go back, or what?
Well, I know one time is it Miss Bonnell, was it 3 times and your ass going to get a felony or something like that? They habitualize you or something like that? I don't know if she's not listening, but yeah, I think if they get you 3 times, you might get habitualized.
Oh my God.
That means that the misdemeanor becomes a I believe it's 3 times.
Yes.
See, but I just wonder though, because you said what?
Yes, it's become a pattern in practice, so they upcharge you.
Are you familiar with the whole sovereign citizen? I'm a Moor, and I'm a private individual. I go by my own rules, and no victim, no crime.
Yeah,
and I told you it's easy to go to jail.
Those people are going to jail. So you're telling me Don
No,
Colon
he
is
said
taking
it's
people to
easy. It's
jail?
easy to go to jail. Being a Moor is one thing. I can say I'm a Moor. Doesn't mean I'm a moron. I can say I'm a Moor just as easy as I can say I'm Amish or something else. But you
Right.
still have to follow the law.
Why they? I mean, Don Colon's pretty big, bro. Like I seen him in a picture with Busta Rhymes, and like he's pretty big, bro.
I can't speak to what he does. I don't know him well enough, but I do know one thing. She just said it's easy to get. If I wanted to show you I can make something happen, I can run a red light while a cop is right there. I can park my truck in the middle of the street. It's a citation typically because it's not criminal. If I want to have an engagement and then prove to you that I can do something, I could actually go and do something like what do you call it? I think I might close up the screen. You can actually listen to some of my court cases while I'm in the courtroom and the judge dismisses the case. So you can hear
Right.
all these ones that you saw.
So
I
you're
didn't
saying
want that.
you're saying because he can't show that he has a success doing it, that he should that there's nothing to talk about until he actually goes there.
I don't know that that's what I didn't say that. I'm just saying the
Oh,
person wants to show you that they can do something. She said it's easy to go to jail, and I'm like, well, I agreed. And if it's easy to go to jail, if I wanted to sell you, I don't tell anybody have any child support issues. I just try to help you if you have one. I don't tell anybody want to go to jail. I don't tell anybody get rear-ended in accidents. I've done all those kind of things on my own.
all right.
But I do not suggest you playing with these people in this political environment
All right.
with some stuff that can get you locked up.
Yeah.
Because the consequence for forgery are, those documents that are federal documents. You ever heard of uttering a forged instrument?
Yeah.
Okay, you may have some kind of exposure for that if you're creating documents that are solely within the purview of a particular branch of government. Like only the federal government can coin money. States can't coin their own money.
Right.
And so I would just say be really careful with that stuff. If it were me, I'd be careful. But hey, knock yourself out.
I'm glad you said that because one of the things that stood out to me after interviewing him, after talking to him and everything, in the interview, I was actually asking him, I'm like, man, what did you go into the feds for? And he did federal time. And he was like, I think it was counterfeit money. And then I was like, okay. So you went to the feds for counterfeit money. He went in there. He got a lot of education. He actually knows a lot. I think he got his doctorate degree in something. I'm not 100% sure in what, but I know that he graduated and everything. But then I see he's actually creating these IDs for people.
What do you mean IDs?
Bro, I get this ID from him. It's a private ID, private life, private thing. I get pulled over. I show him the ID, and I'm supposed to get let go.
Where are you when you show them this ID?
In my car.
No, where on the state
I'm driving.
road?
I'm at the red light. I ran the red light. I forgot to turn my turn signal on. They pull me over, and I show them this ID I got from Don Kalam.
If it were me, I would look into what false ID might be and look at the elements. Because they ask you to identify yourself, there's probably some statute somewhere that says what is an acceptable form of identification. That's
Right.
not as important as what may be an acceptable form of identification to verify your right to operate a vehicle on a state road. That might be the issue.
Yeah, I probably want to get you guys on a call, man. He's really big now. I was fortunate enough to get him at the Hit House Chicago, and we interviewed him over there. And it's crazy I found out about him because he actually wrote a book on how to stop child support. And I guess we'll just stop right here. But what he told me, what he says in the book is to own the name. So the legal fiction name is your name in all capital letters. We all know the straw man thing. And he's basically saying take ownership of the name. So go file an LLC with your name in all capital letters. You know, my name's Daniel Badea. Boom, go make an LLC and be Daniel Badea LLC. Trademark the name and then sue child support for copyright infringement for using your name on a contract. Does that work?
Well, it's interesting that we happen to have somebody on here who does business stuff, and she'll tell you, I believe one of the things when you set up an LLC, it has to be for legal purposes, doesn't it?
But we are the business.
No, one more time for those in the third row. When you establish it under the state law,
Right.
I believe one of the criterion is it must be for legal purposes.
Right.
Is that
You're
correct?
going to jail.
See,
Going to jail. See, thank you, because Greg don't want to say
You're
it.
going to jail.
I'm asking the questions, Greg.
Hey, Rick told you that. Mike has told you that. There's certain things I just.
Where am I
He
going,
like-
Greg? Am I going to jail, bro?
If they
Yes.
catch you
With that
violating-
ID and I say,
Hold on.
this is me.
Daniel, depending on where you are, they gonna put them black gloves on.
and they gonna beat your ass.
Snatch you
They
up
gonna
out the
knock my
car, they
ass
gonna
out,
slam
ain't
you
they?
on your-
They
Yeah, they
knock
gonna drop
my
you
ass
on your
out.
head.
Well, here's where there would be an issue, and I don't know what the issue would potentially be because you can't. Some states don't allow you to have an ID and a driver's license. If your
Right.
license is otherwise valid, and I don't know if he's telling you to take your license and turn it in so that you don't have a license at all, because you can
Right,
always
we don't need
go
a
to-
license because a
Okay.
license is a copy, is a contract with the state.
There you go, that foolishness.
Right.
But you can rescind the license because it is in a sense an agreement between you and the DMV. If you
Right.
rescind your license and they find you doing something and you don't have the license, then you may have an issue. And I'm not going to get into how you're going to be insured without a license. Of course, you can be bonded personally. There's a whole lot of things that can go on. I just say if you want some entertainment, go to Disney World, man.
All right, man. Hey, salute to Greg Doss, man. Greg Doss is out here changing a lot of lives. You guys heard it for yourself. Don't believe everything you hear on the internet. Go do your Googles. I always tell you, do your fucking Googles and figure out what you're doing before you do it. Greg Doss, man, appreciate you for sitting on this platform with me. I know I took a lot of your time, but you know, your education, man, is real, bro. And I want people out here to really learn the real. You know, we got a lot of fluff out here, so I appreciate you taking this time with me.
Hey, no problem. I appreciate you and everything you do. And anybody else who wants to reach out to me can find me on YouTube at Greg Doss, GDNAPSC, as you can see, actually over my shoulder here. And go to GDNAPSC.com if you need any services. And I appreciate the opportunity.
No doubt, man. 773 DBTV here for the hungry and the needy, but not the greedy, man. Signing out. Appreciate you, Greg.
Y'all take care.